everybody. Welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. All right, we have a letter, and today's letter is about husbands with a wandering eye. Husbands with a wandering eye. All right, let's dive into this letter. Me and my husband have been married for 14 years. We celebrated my birthday on July 26th. Congratulations, Leo. Congratulations. We went to the beach for my birthday. I noticed my hubby looking at the female as I walked behind him and my son. He even looked back to watch her ass. I was so embarrassed. Shocked and hurt, I didn't say a word. On the drive home was the argument. Screaming, yelling, cussing. And I threw my ring and asked him to leave our home. Well, wait a minute. You have been with him for 14 years, and I'm sure this is not the first time he did it. And I'm pretty sure that in the 14 years you have been asking him not to do it. But for him, he finds pleasure in it. Now, whether he acts on it is a different thing. But somehow he's finding some sort of gratification by looking at other women. But for him to blatantly look at other women's behind in your face, I believe that's a little disrespectful. Now, unless the woman is walking around with her cheeks out, I turn around and look. You know, some women are out here, and when they turn around, it's sheer fabric. You can see both cheeks plain as if they don't have on anything. And if you said you went to the beach, she probably had on a thong. Well, you know, women wear these thongs so men will look. And, you know, men are weak. Some of them just can't help looking. And I'm going to tell you, if I'm on the beach and I see some woman with a thong on and she's got a huge behind, I'm going to look. I'm going to look because that's kind of unbelievable that women are exposing themselves like this. And they don't care how big they are either. Where they find a thong that will fit a 300-pound woman is beyond me. You might as well just have a string because that's what it's looking like anyway. But anywho, let's go on with your letter. See what you said. The next day, we went shopping. He did the same thing. This is a pattern. I saw the girl with her butt cheeks hanging. He acted like I was looking for something in the same aisle as her to watch her butt cheeks. Okay, so the next day, you went shopping and you saw this same girl that you saw at the beach. In the shopping around. So what did she have on that you could see her butt cheeks? Did she have a BBL? You know, if she had a BBL, you saw them cheeks riding in whatever she was wearing. And I tell you, some of these BBLs make you look, man or woman. And it's not a lustful look. It's like a shocking look. So you can't really judge his look by saying that he's lusting after a woman. He may be just shocked to see so many women out naked, showing their behinds, okay? To him, it could be just a spectacle, you know, because I've seen some spectacles. It's not uncommon today. We fussed that day in the car. Why you keep fussing with it? 14 years you've been with this man. So why? You know, what's the point now? You're going to stay with him, apparently. So why are you kicking up a dust? You can't change him. And if you keep bugging, that's not going to make him stop. It's just going to make him more irritated with you. And maybe he'll stop taking you out when he's out sightseeing. He'll leave your ass at home. Okay? He won't admit to doing it, but apologize for disrespecting me. Now, you see what he did here? He didn't apologize for watching women. He enjoys that. But he apologized because you got upset about it and you felt disrespected about it. But in 14 years, he's been doing this 14 years, so you can't act like he just started. Maybe you're finally tired of it. Maybe you weren't around as much with him when he's checking out women as you are now. But whatever the case is, he's not telling you he's going to quit. You say, don't let me catch him looking. He has a lustful eye and needs to be more discreet with it. Well, if he hasn't been discreet with it in 14 years, what makes you think he's going to do it now? What makes you think that he's going to change for you now when you've tolerated him for 14 years? What should I do as a wife and mother? Nothing. You can't make him change. I'm trying to keep it classy and soft as I am a beautiful woman myself. Well, if you are, and you are confident in your own beauty, well, then you shouldn't be threatened by this. Of course, it is disrespectful for him to be doing it just blatantly in your face. And I say that he's been doing that because you have allowed it for 14 years. You see, I keep driving it in your skull because I could see it if it was your first year and he started doing this and it's an issue. But 14 years, you can't stop it. You either got to roll with it or let him do his thing. Okay? Now, why would a married man do this? Now, apparently your husband does not feel that he's risking his marriage by watching other women like this. 14 years, you hung in there. He doesn't feel like he's risking anything. He just thinks that, you just being unreasonable. Okay? Some men are visual creatures and may not have developed the self-discipline to curb the instinct. By doing it in front of you, that's not just instinct, it's choice. So it's not that he can't control it. He's doing it because he can. It could be blatant disrespect. How does he treat you otherwise? Is he loving? Is he supportive? Is he all of that? And then he just got this issue? I don't know. Because usually men who have this issue have a lot of other issues dealing with their wives. So that's under a lack of self-control. Now, disrespect and emotional immaturity. If he knows it bothers you and he keeps it up, that's not just a wandering eye. That's a wandering line of respect. It suggests he prioritizes impulse over your feelings. He don't care nothing about your feelings. His impulse is to look, to gawk, whatever. That's what he's going to do, whether you like it or not. Now, you say you have a little son, and you really don't want your son to pattern after him. So maybe you can talk. I don't know how you can say how old your son was, but maybe you can talk to your son during this time and just say, when you grow up, don't disrespect women like that. Your dad just hasn't matured yet. Or just tell him, don't treat women like that. You can teach your son yourself so that when he looks at dad doing these things, he'll know it's wrong, and he won't take it as this is the way that men are. This is the way you be a man. Okay? You can try to counteract that with your son as he's growing up. Habit or conditioning. Sometimes it's not even desire. He may not even think before looking. It may be a habit. Every time a woman goes by, he look and see what the butt look like. Look and see what the butt look like. Maybe maybe he's a butt man. You would know that better than anybody. He just likes watch women's butts, especially with these women getting these BBLs. Maybe he's one of the men who like that sort of thing. He may be seeking an ego boost. Staring at women, especially if they notice, might give him a sense of power or fantasy, especially if he's feeling insecure or bored. Again, it's not your fault, but it's something to watch. Well, you can watch it, but after 14 years, he's not going to change. Why would he? Why should he? The only way that your husband would change this pattern is if he changes, if he decides that, he's tired of doing it. He won't be changing for you. He'll only change for himself. If he finds that there's a benefit in changing this behavior to him, then he will change. Other than that, no, he's already got you. So why should he change for you? Okay. All right. Now, what should you do when you see your husband doing this? What comes to mind was that when I was dating the narcissist, we were out shopping one day, and I'm just talking to him, and, he's over here doing something in the clothes. I'm over here looking for clothes. And I'm talking to him, and he's not answering. So when I look, he was staring at another woman. I say, hey, babe, I'm over here. And he had that smile like on his face, and he looked at me, and she smiled. She knew he was stalking her. But that was so disrespectful. Of course, he was a narcissist, and that's an evil being, and he doesn't love anybody anyway. So what he does is always looking for supply, always looking for the better deal. So, hopefully your husband, after 14 years, he's not looking for a better deal. He's just entertaining his fantasy. He likes looking at women's behind. Okay. Set a clear boundary. You're not asking for mind control. You're asking for basic decency in public. You can ask him whether he's going to comply. You have to wait and see. I don't think he is, because he hasn't complied yet. If you still got to be arguing and fussing and fighting and nothing changes, why are you exhausting yourself with this situation? Let it go. If you decide that you're going to stay with him no matter what, let it go. No sense they keep badgering him and fighting him, because he's not going to change unless he wants to. Okay? He's already showed you that he's not willing to change for you. Okay? So you got to decide what you're willing to tolerate. And it's totally up to you. You see? And I understand that, after 14 years, you don't want to throw in the towel on your marriage. So hopefully your husband is good in other ways, meaning that he's a good supporter. He's a good provider. You have a son. Hopefully, he's a good father. And he treats you decently. In this particular situation, you feel disrespected. But hopefully, it's not spilling over into other areas of your life where he is totally disrespectful to you. But I hope that you understand the message today. You can't change a man. Get that through your head. He will have to decide to change. But again, after 14 years, if he has not changed his behavior, he's not willing to change it for you. I hope you understand the message today, and I really hope that it helps someone. Now, those of you who may have a question that you'd like for me to answer, my email address is in the description. I want to thank you so much for supporting this channel. Thank you for your comments and your letters. And a very special thank you to those that leave a donation. I really appreciate all of you. I wish you all the very best. And I really hope to see you next time.